We are here today as a result of the town hall meetings that we had in the 3 communities of the Colihaut constituency. And as certain promises were made at these town hall meetings, we cannot achieve everything in one fell swoop, but we have to take stock, do it gradually, and help as we go along so that we can fulfill the promises, or the pledges rather, made to the communities. And this is what brings us here today, to fulfill the pledge more specifically in small business, in the small business area. But before I go on to really ask Barrett to tell you what we have for you, I'll pass the mic over to the Honorable Douglas, who will share a few words with you.
I always start, whenever I speak, by going back to history, because I believe history is very important. Marcus Garvey, who was one of the greatest black leaders in the world who have ever lived. We have had great black leaders, some of them in Africa, Kwame Nkrumah, and a lot of others, Shaka, and even contemporary great leaders like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and later down persons like Bob Marley, who championed the cause of black people. But Marcus Garvey was one of the greatest. And Marcus Garvey once said that a people without a knowledge of their history is like a tree without roots. And so, if you are a tree without roots, when a strong wind blows, you will fall. And I say that to say that we must understand our history as a people, if we are to understand our purpose at present and where we want to get to in the future. And why did I start that way? And bear with me for a minute. Because ever since the Labour Party was founded, the Labour Party was founded by a very small in stature man who was very humble from the community of Vickers. But he left Vickers and he established a great friendship with the people of the West Coast, and he ran elections in Colihaut and won elections in Colihaut, as he did in many other communities around Dominica. His name was Edward Oliver LeBlanc. And it was Mr. Edward Oliver LeBlanc who taught us in the Dominica Labour Party that we have to look out for one another and we have to take care of one another. And it is not morally and ethically right for us to establish our good life if our brother and our sister continue to wallow and to struggle in poverty. We must share. And that was not only his principle, but that is a principle of the Bible. Amen. That is a biblical principle, that we have a Christian and a moral duty to take care of the poor, to feed the hungry, to clothe the naked, to visit the sick. These are principles, no matter what or who you believe in. These are principles that you should live by. And these are the principles that we live by in the Dominica Labour Party. And it was my father, everybody knows Mike Douglas, when he ran the party as leader of the party, when he wrote the constitution of the party, he coined the phrase, all shall eat. And we still believe that today. All shall eat. And I want to make it fundamentally and abundantly clear that when we say all, we do not see colors in the Labour Party. We do not see red, we do not see blue, we do not see green. And sometimes we get criticized for that because sometimes inadvertently our strongest supporters get left behind or get left until others. So that principle sometimes is even politically disadvantageous and damaging to us. But because we believe that we are one country under God, and there are only 60,000 of us here, all of us will eventually benefit as long as Roosevelt carries that the Dominica Labour Party continues to be the government of the people. And so what Edward Oliver LeBlanc taught us to do is to empower people. You know that word empower? Empower means if you are strong, you can build your brother up. And that is what we want to do. We want to use the resources of the state to pull. So when I am up on the ladder and I pull you up, you must pull somebody else up. So that eventually each and every one of us. When you get $1, take out a quart in it, save 1 quart. Spend 50 cents. But the 4th quart, give somebody, help somebody, because somebody helps you. And so that is why we're not only interested in giving you a fish. We want to teach you to fish. So that we will not only feed you for today, but you will be able to feed yourself forever. That is what we want to do in the Dominica. That's what we have been doing in the Dominica Labour Party. So when people talk about we're giving handouts, we're not giving handouts, we're giving you a help up. Because everybody, no matter your situation in life, at some point in time, you need a help up. And that's what we are. And so, we came to you in 2000. When we met the country in a mess in 2000, Dominica had literally Kool-Aid. Gadakan, everybody know Gadakan. I can call his name because it's the truth. Gadakan was paying salaries for public servants because the government did not have money to pay. All of us know people who work in the public service, teachers and policemen and post office workers and nurses. And we know that the month was ending on the 15th of the next month. People couldn't get their salaries because the treasury was literally empty. And so the first move that Roosevelt Skerrit made when he came to office was we held a big prayer meeting in the gardens where we dedicated the country to God. As if one of the first things we did. And when the collection was taken, we dedicated that collection to God. And the pastor prophesied when he was preaching at the time that the treasury of Dominica will never again be empty. And so what we asked people to do at the time was to make a sacrifice. We recognized that we had to tighten our belts because we had no money. We recognized that all of us had to make a sacrifice. We called the IMF in to give us a loan. But we said to pay back that loan, we had to make certain cuts. So we cut public servant salaries. We increased, we put a 5% levy everybody had to pay. So all of us went through the grinds. We made this sacrifice. And we stood there and we stuck it out. We lost 2 prime ministers in the same term of office in 5 years because of the state of the finances. And to this afternoon doesn't allow me to go into all of the specifics for you. I can just tell you that places like Social Security was being owed millions. NBD was being owed millions, and I can go on and on and on. The treasury was literally empty. Plywood and lumber that was taken from merchants like Astafan and Antilles and all of those merchants could not be paid. There were checks sitting in the treasury and they could not be given to the people because if they had been given to you, when you go to the bank, the check would have bounced. Imagine government checks bouncing. And so we made this sacrifice, and today the country is on a growth path. It's growing, and we're growing from strength to strength. And so that is why we are saying, and we said it at the time, we told you, if you make this sacrifice with us, all of us will be at the grinds together. And when the country starts prospering, all of us will share in the benefits of what there is to share. And so that is why we are happy to go around the country helping you. And so what we are using, the source, the main source we are using for that, as you have heard before, is the Citizenship by Investment Funds. And the Citizenship by Investment Program is a program that had been implemented by Mary Eugenia Charles in 1993. Way back in 1993 is about 25 years ago, maybe more. When she saw that bananas were dying because England couldn't give us preferential treatment anymore, they couldn't pay us even what the bananas wasn't worth anymore because America had taken us to court and said that it wasn't fair for Windward Island bananas to enter England. Everybody had to compete on the same level playing field. And when we lost those preferential treatments, the price of production of the banana went up and the price we were getting for the banana went down. So bananas were not profitable anymore. It was costing more to produce the box of bananas than what we were getting. So all banana farmers abandoned the fields, bought a bus, and came down into the tourism industry. And Eugenia Child sat down and she thought very hard. And she told herself, if I allow billionaires and millionaires around the world to be able to contribute to a project in Dominica, and as a result of that, they will be entitled to become citizens, I can raise the necessary revenue and the monies I need to continue the development of Dominica. So she came up with the Citizenship by Investment program, and that is how it started. And United Workers Party criticized the program at the time. The Layu River Hotel never finished because of the involvement of the United Workers Party. They said they would have scrapped the program when they came to power, but they continued the program because when they got to power, they realized who is in the kitchen is feeling the heat. And when they saw the state of the finances of the country, they continued the program. And they made certain changes to the program that even made the program even almost very, very, very dangerous. The people who were entitled to come to Dominica to be interviewed before they were granted citizenship, United Workers Party said, you don't need to come to Dominica anymore. We will come and meet you wherever you are around the world. And although Edison James was the Prime Minister and he was not the Minister of Finance at the time, yet he was the one in control of the Citizenship by Investment funds. Today, no politician, not even the Prime Minister, can access the Citizenship by Investment funds without the permission of a public servant. Senior public servants like the Financial Secretary or the Budget Controller or the head of the Economic Citizenship Unit. That is how tight we have made the program, and that is why our program right now is one of the best programs in the Caribbean and in the world, where persons feel confident about our program. And that program, although Dominica was one of the first countries in the Caribbean because of Eugenia Charles in 1993 to establish a citizenship program, but that program is all over the world. America has a program called the EB5 program, where they invite people from all over the world, especially Chinese. Donald Trump's daughter has a husband now that invited Chinese to come and be citizens of America through their EB5 citizenship program, where if a person invests $500,000 US in a business in America, they are entitled to citizenship of America. Canada has a program. England has a citizenship program. Malta has a citizenship program. There are many countries around the world. Right here in the Caribbean, the Dominican Republic has a program. Antigua has a citizenship program. St. Kitts has a program. St. Lucia just started their program, and they modeled their program exactly on Dominica's program. So it is not Dominica only doing a thing that is so strange that nobody understands. And the program is very tight. Before somebody is entitled to become a citizen, a check is done on them called a due diligence check that goes into all of their background and their life to check to see if there is any criminal activity or suspicious activity that they have been involved in their life. And that report is not given to them, but is sent back directly to the Citizenship by Investment Office. And if when that report is opened, there is any adverse findings on that applicant, then automatically they are denied. Even if somebody slipped through the cracks and when they applied for citizenship, they had a past that was not known at the time of the interview and they were granted citizenship. When that past becomes known, the government has the power to revoke that citizenship. So the program is a very tight program, and that program has been very prosperous. That is why we've been able to build the kind of economic foundation that have been built in this country over the last 15 years, and we continue to prosper and grow from strength to strength. Even when in the height of the austerity program, we never cut out not one of the social programs. In fact, we continue to expand them and to grow them so that we can take care of the less fortunate among us. You have the NEP, you have the Yes We Care, you have the 70 and over, so persons who have not been able to work in the government system to enjoy a pension from the Social Security right now in their old age, now that they have 70, but they have given so much to our community. I mean, ever since I grew up, I know that Marva shop. All you know people that are fishermen here in Colihaut all their life. People who are bakery, baking bread, serving the community all of their life. Mechanics and truck drivers, when they used to have those big Bedford 5-ton trucks, taking us to Roseau when the road was dirt road. All of these persons, although they didn't work for government and government cannot pay them a pension, the government of Dominica and Northern Territory believe that these people contributed to the building of our communities, of our societies, and of Dominica. And they deserve a little pension now that they are 70, so they can pay their little mapping, they can buy their little groceries, they can pay a little phone bill. And what is wrong with that? They are Dominicans who have worked hard, they have contributed to the development of the country, and now that the country is enjoying prosperity, they are entitled to share in that prosperity. What is wrong with giving somebody, an old lady, again, an old person, a washroom? A person who before in the middle of the night wanted to relieve themselves, especially if they're sick with an instant diarrhea, to go outside in darkness, especially if rain falling, to use a latrine without lights and a bullseye. And today you come in and you construct a nice concrete washroom facility for that person so that they can live their life, the rest of their life in pride and dignity. The Bible tells us, whatsoever you do to the least of my brothers, that you do unto me. And that is what God will ask us when we meet him on Judgment Day. When I was sick, did you feed me? When I was sick, did you visit me? When I was hungry, did you feed me? These are the questions. When I was thirsty, did you give me drink? And so that we feel that that is our moral obligation in the Dominica Labour Party, to feed the hungry, to clothe the naked, to visit the sick, to visit those in prison, to take care of the less fortunate among us. And that is why we are here today with a tangible manifestation from your hard-working parent to give back to you that which is given. And so I want you to use that help to build a solid foundation, because you don't know how long it will last. Look, Lennox Linton already go to the United States and blacken. No, don't laugh. This is not a joke. I don't want you to laugh. I'm not saying that, I'm not politicizing, I'm speaking facts. He has gone to the United States to black ID program, to say that what we are doing in our citizenship program is wrong and scary, doing all manner of evil and spreading all kind of propaganda about us. And if the United States shut down the program, all of us will lose. All of us will lose. Imagine we don't have the Yes We Care. We do have the NEP. All of the young people right now who can make a little living. Some of those single mothers who feed their children, to send their children to school, to clothe themselves. If we lose that funding, those young people will go back to their homes. All of the good young people I see every day making Colihaut one of the most beautiful communities in Dominica. How can we deprive them of that? This is what the Citizenship by Investment funds are doing right now. Lifting the standard of our community and lifting the heads of our people. Allowing each and every one of us to walk in pride and dignity as citizens of this beloved, blessed Dominica. And so I want you to use those funds to build a solid foundation for yourself, as the government is building a solid foundation for Dominica. Make those funds sustainable. Put them into sustainable ventures. Whatever you do, if you're a fisherman, invest in your craft so that 5-6 years from now, you can continue to enjoy your livelihood. If you're a farmer, plant what is needed. We have the facilities right now, the pack houses, one in Longhouse, just there close to you in Portsmouth, that is calling for everything. We want plantain, they want ginger, they want turmeric, they want yams, they want dashing. Right now we have a contract. 2 20-foot containers every month, one every fortnight, one to the United States of America and one to England, and we want to fill those containers. Or plantains, we need cucumber. I don't know what Matnik doing in cucumber. I say porridge, they make it cucumber. Matnik is calling for cucumber, making our head spin. I talking about like 10,000 pounds a week. And cucumber is a fast cash crop. You plant cucumber in 6 weeks, you waiting. So while you're waiting for the yam and the dashing and the kush and the tanya, you have a little cucumber there rolling over steady. And we have the market and it's selling good. Cucumber has a good price at this point in time. So the fishermen can do well, the farmers can do well. Any single hard-working venture you set yourselves to right now in Dominica, you can do well because the country is on the move. Look right now, about 15 minutes away from you, we will have a Marriott hotel. Marriott is a world-class branded hotel. Everybody in the world know Marriott. There are Marriotts in the US, Marriotts in Europe, Marriott in Africa, Marriott hotels in Asia. Everybody know Marriott. And so a local entrepreneur is building a Marriott hotel where Coconut Beach used to be. So that is for you to take advantage of. You can't make people come out right Grand Bay and Petit Savannah and come and provide what the hotel needs as far as food and fish and chicken and meat is concerned, and you right there on the doorstep. Apart from the Marriott Hotel, you have the Kapinski Hotel going up there, right there. You are the closest to Portsmouth. You have the Moroccan Hotel, which we have to finish. You have how much hotels you have around you should make all your people head spin. Look, there is another hotel, a Hilton Hotel, that is to be built in the Salisbury area. So there is tremendous possibility for the people of the Colihaut constituency, and I know that they are skilled people here. All of the flat stone and thing that Lily gathering outside there, I know that you have skilled men in Colihaut that can not only gain employment while the hotels are being built, but even after the finishing of the hotels, when those hotels start running, you are the ones that should be first to gain employment in the hotel, and who not working in the hotel have to be providing services to those hotels. Okay? So gear yourself up. Now that the West Coast water supply is fully completed, we are going to concentrate on the Milton Falls. Where the people from Jubla who are here? The Milton Falls. We are going to fully rehabilitate the Milton Falls. And I tell them already, Milton Falls better than Emerald Pool. So we're going to have tourists coming to the Milton Falls. So gear up yourself. Have your little craft shop, have your little souvenir shop, have your little coconut cheese, and your little tambourine balls, and your gooseberry, and your tablet to sell to the tourists when they come to Milton Falls, because Milton Falls is soon going to become another Trafalgar Falls or another Emerald Pool. Your little rum punch, your little local juices, all of your little local craft. That is what the small business money is supposed to do. You're supposed to use it to create sustainable development. None of you must worry about a job again or income or anything again. Right now we are on a road to prosperity, and you must be focused, you must be disciplined. Don't take the people money and go online, go and party and go and buy car and go girlfriend. Do not take the money and go sell nothing. And then when the money finishes, you come back to the pal rep again. Some people have a bad habit. More you give them, more they coming for. More you are and you in the constituency, if you know who these people are, if you know this, like you tell the pal rep, because that constituency is a strong constituency, and we don't need their votes. You have to set them straight, and if they vex and they don't want to vote for the pal rep, let them do vote. But when they go and take the money and they do not use it wisely, they're damaging the possibility of all of us getting more. So we cannot allow people to get away with indiscipline. We mustn't allow people to waste the government money. That is hard-earned money that the government is making available. And I see some of you are working hard. I pass up and down every day, you know. I see you selling a little kenny and roasting the little plantain. Well, you don't feel like to give me milk. You know what I mean? So we must be really serious and make sure that Colihaut, Jubla and Biosh continues to be a success story, not only of the West Coast, but of Dominica. So I want to thank you very much, and that's why the pal rep told you, she called me at 2 o'clock this afternoon, and I made it here. I told her I will come. Whenever Lady Catherine Daniel calls me, I show up because I am moved by the kind of dedication and the kind of sacrifice I see people like Catherine making. I mean, a person like Catherine that work all her life. She didn't have all her money when she could retire and go on holiday, go on her cruise. You know what I mean? And at this age in her life, when she should be cooling out, drinking a little brandy, watching the sunset. No, it's serious. It's serious. She has decided to make the sacrifice to come and serve, to be of service to people. That is great. That's commendable. And I salute her for that. I salute her for that. That is what is making for me all the years of Labour Party sacrifice worthwhile. When I see quality people like Catherine Daniel, Lady Catherine Daniel, coming to the fore and serving, I am humbled by that, and I must follow. So I want your Parrep to leave a legacy of success and prosperity in this constituency. You know, and I know that especially Biosh has never turned it back on the Labour Party. Biosh has always supported the Labour Party from Libra days. I mean, there are only 3 communities in Dominica that have never supported any other party other than the Dominica Labour Party. It's Penville, Glanvilla, and Biosh. We have never supported anybody else. So I salute you all for that. And Colihaut has always been the anchor there. Anytime anybody tries to call you who has held the allegiance to the Dominica Labour Party. And so now we have Jubla on board. Jubla has seen where the Dominica Labour Party wants to take this country. And look at the work we're doing in Jubla right now on the playing field. Look at the work. And we will be celebrating, I believe, in the next couple of weeks. I think on the 7th or thereabouts. On the 9th, I will be there in the Jubla Park to celebrate with you all. I will be there with you all. So I love you all, and that's why I'm speaking with great passion, because I feel part of this community, but part of this constituency. I love the faces I see in here. I know that you all are tremendously hardworking, and you are dedicated to what you do. And I will tell you, as long as I continue to sit in the cabinet of Roosevelt Territory Dominica Labour Party with colleagues like Lady Catherine Daniel, I will continue to give her all of the support she needs so that you, the people of this constituency, will grow from strength to strength. May God bless you.
So we are here to deliver today a lot of goodies. Prior to January, we had already delivered to the constituency, Biosh, Jubla, Colihaut, an amount of 150,000 in small business. Today we are delivering 450, so with a grand total of about, and in Jubla, though they were not part of the small business there, but I was able to secure for some Jubla people, you know, sometimes dialogue. You have to talk, you cannot just sit back and say, I will not get, and I will not this, and that one, this, and that one. It's those who walk that get. Ask and you shall receive, the Bible says. You cannot expect a parrot to imagine what you want, or to just see you and think of what you want. Unless you ask, a parrot will not know your needs, your specific needs. The parrot may know general needs for the community, but the specific needs may not be known. And so it's as a result of some people from Jubla who wanted to start small business. I was able to get 77,000 for them. And so in small business, for the month of June alone, we'll be distributing $677,903 to the community. In the month of June alone, on the 1st of June, we gave checks of 394,000 plus for roads. Because though somebody said in a meeting, we don't need roads, but we have to fix our place, make it look good, so that things can come and, you know, our place can really look good. So in June alone, for this time, we are distributing in the community $1,070,000 and 72,500 and a few dollars in that community. The process. Let's welcome in our midst the Minister for Small Business. That's where all the money comes from. And Madam Minister, I just want to say thank you so very much. Because when you see, working together as colleagues, you have to cooperation, understanding. She could take all of her community and say she represented Pebush. She has a whole range of communities in Pebush. But no, we share in our different ministries assistance to each other. And I must say, with her ministry, I don't sweat a lot to get it from her. You ask, and she really pushes. When you the Prime Minister, who has to say, go ahead, and he will send it to her ministry, she does not waste time on it. Within days, 2 days, I will have, she'll say, can't send for that, and I will have it. So, Honorable Minister, thank you so much. That's when we talk about the sisterhood of the party. I'm not leaving you all out. We have our brothers there, but we really work very, very well. And I tell you, it's a great team to be working with. Really, really great team. We understand, we have love among us, and we work well together. Now, not only small business are we addressing today, but we also have, as I said, some housing, little gifts to give to people for those who were there from 2016. And you all will be getting the checks. I also want to tell you all, I also have coming, maybe by next week, $200,000 communist constituency empowerment money, which will also meet some housing needs. Out of that $200,000, Colihaut will be getting about $108,000 from that. Because today I have a check of about $131,000 between Colihaut and Dubla, but Colihaut only has $29,000. The rest of the 131 goes, it is shared between Dubla and Biosh in housing. So that is why when I get the 200, Colihaut has to get 108 out of that, and the rest will be shared again between Biosh and Dubla, because Dubla has the 400 coming, which we have to address. And so that is why we are here today, to give to you these gifts from the CBI. I know, I'm pausing to speak on that. Rome was not built in a day, but Rome was built anyway. We had a training session for small business, and the Ministry of Small Business wants to know that when they give the money to you, that you understand how to use it. So the minister will talk to you about the utilization of it, although you had that in the training, because we do not want to just put money in people's hands. They eat profit, they eat sales, they eat everything. And at the end of the day, there's nothing to account for. So the minister will expound on that a little, because she's the business person. And so we want to admonish you from the training that you have received, that you utilize your money in that way. And so you will find today, not everybody who was there who could get, because you do not want to give a person $1,000 when they need $5 for business. It wouldn't work. So we had to go through, look at it, see, for example, in the Biosh case, see existing business and people who just want to top up or want to fix up their place better. For new business, we had a lot of expensive ventures, and we have to look. When you are trying to do something in a community, you have to look whether it's going to be a viable business. You do not want to have a shop on every street. You know, today I was talking to somebody coming down the road. I was talking, before I came, talking to a friend. And the person was telling me about their business and how they're going to operate their business. And that is such an excellent idea. Because the person doesn't want to rob off from anybody or take. Everybody have to coexist so that everybody can survive. And I think if we think of each other that way, life will be worth living. And so it's in that vein that when we were looking at some of the applications for businesses, specifically in the Biosh area, we had a lot. And applications are still coming in. But the cutoff we did the town hall since in February. So now we had to complete so that we could get the payment before the end of the financial year. And so some people are not included in the BIOS, but also we have not utilized all the 250,000 for BIOS. Some is still behind. In talking to the Prime Minister, because we seek advice from the Prime Minister as to what to do, and he, you know, his thought is we have to look at sustainable business ventures, sustainable initiatives. And one of the key things, as Honorable Douglas said, is the fishing industry. And that is the area that is specific to our catchment area, Colihaut, Dublin, beyond. I tried, when I just came into politics, I met with all three groups, Colihaut group, BIOS group, Dublin group. Dublin ran with it, BIOS ran with it. But when I came to Colihaut, I had a little problem. Everybody wanted to be in their own corner. In life now, unless you group yourself, you wouldn't have that power. You must work as a team. If you cannot work as a team, you're going to be fighting each other. The market, if your BIOS is running away with a fishing program that they have in the enhancement committee, all roads leading down there to buy fish. Everybody you hear in town, they're going to BIOS to buy fish. And I would like to see that for Colihaut. It's not too late. We can still talk. We can still plan. I know what some of the needs are. We have to sit down. We have to look at it. And we have to see how we can come around to making Colihaut what it used to be. Look, St. Peter is coming. I raised up in a community where all fishermen were involved in the St. Peter, you know, St. Peter venture with boats, blessing of boats and so on. We hardly have this now. And I think it's time that we take stock and look at that sector, the fishing sector. We do a little farming. We also have to look at that sector so that, as the minister said, we can prepare ourselves for the available markets that are coming our way. The hotels, how many of them? 4 of them, Minister, 4 hotels in your area. And if you are not ready, it's not when the hotels start that you're going to get ready. The train will leave you behind. People will come from Grand Bay, from all over the place, and take over what should rightfully be yours, because it's in your catchment area. So we will work towards that. It's not too late. We have young fishermen from Colihaut. I intend to get the Minister of Fisheries to come down to have a meeting with the fishermen from Colihaut, and let's see how we can move forward to making Colihaut what it used to be in times gone, because BIOS and Dublin are on their way already for that. So as I say today, we are here to do just that, to give you just that. Some of you may have received letters. It tells you the amount. For the business people, when you go to receive, it's a grant. It's not something they should give you piecemeal. You have to know your rights and know what you have to do. You go with your letter and they're supposed to give you the amount. For the housing, people in the housing sector, the councils always want to see your invoices. So you need to have copies of your invoices to go to the council for the housing assistance so that they can match what is allocated to you with what they have received. Otherwise, you can say you were supposed to get so much, but they have to match it to what they have received. And so for the housing people, you need to have your invoices to get it from the council. For the small business people, the letter you receive, you'll go to the various councils, Dublin, BIOS. You'll present the letters, it has the amount. And please take stock of how much you're supposed to receive. Please ensure that before you leave the place, that the amount is rightly stated, that your name is spelled correctly, because they'll give you a check, you'll have to go to the bank, and then if your name, there's a missing letter or something is not spelled, you have to go back to the council. So please ensure, though we may have written some names, but sometimes you write names and people change their name, missing an S, missing a D or whatever. Ensure that your name is properly spelled so that when you receive your check from the council, that you do not have any problems when you go to the financial institution or when you go to the wherever you are obtaining your material. One of the things our Prime Minister has been stressing to us, and I see that even as we give people assistance in housing, and that is why people say that the same people are getting over and over. What really happens? Michel, for example, may want to fix his house. He goes, he does a little estimate himself, or let somebody do it. I'm just using that as an example. He goes to find out the price and he comes with that material. When you start the work, you see that's not what you wanted. You need much more than that. And you cannot finish. You haven't got the means. So you come back. So that's a second time. So you may choose somebody else to do the estimate for the rest. They might shortchange you in the rest. Then you go back again. So it would appear that you are getting 3 times, but it's the work that is incomplete. So for future, those of you who are planning to apply for assistance, I would encourage you to get proper estimates. What we are going to do when the estimate comes, if it's above a certain amount, we are going to ask, because some people just need little repairs, little tiles, little this you can do easily. But if it's above a certain amount and it may be complete renovation, we will ask the people from public goods to come, from housing, to come and do a proper assessment. And based on the assessment, and most time the assessment is more than what you have quoted. So this too will take a little time. But to just get it right, and you finish, if you get, for example, $300,000 and you can finish 5 people, rather than stretch it and do 20 people who have to come back to you again. So if you see the 20 just come in and it's the same people. Let's get off people completely. Let them do their business, renovation, fix up, whatever they have to do, fix their roof, and then we take another batch. So that is how, going forward, I would like it to work for you all so that everybody can get a share of the cake. And as the Labour Party says, the mantra almost, it's all shall eat. Nobody will be left back in that life that we are living, because all of us on that party, we are there to serve you. That is what you elected us to do, to serve you. Servants to all, masters to none, or whatever. So that is what we are here to do. But you need to also help us, because there are times we will miss somebody, and you know of somebody who's really in need. Come and say, look out for your neighbor. Pare, Miss Danielle, whatever way you want to call me. You know that lady down there, she needs a little help. I'd like you to go and see her. Rather than go in a corner and say what you're not supposed to be saying. That will not help the person. But do that. Look out for your neighbor, especially the less fortunate. Some people may have children suffering and you know about that. They may not have a meal. You know of that. Let us know, because sometimes people do not like people to know their business. Some people go to bed and they drink a glass of water. They drink sweetened water and nobody knows. They pursue the best smile out on the road and you think they're happy, and they have. Because sometimes they do not like people to know their business. And this takes me to the point of confidentiality in the village councils. When we put that, it is not to spread on the street who has come for assistance, who is getting, and who get what. If we wanted to do that, we would have a radio program, or we would put a list on the Chronicle and say these are the people and that. When I take my time, and all of us do, to write to our recipients and give them their letters in their hands, is because we want it to be personal to them. And it's not for the consumption of the entire community. This is not good. This is not good at all. Because everybody has a little pride and a little dignity Poverty is not a crime. Not because somebody hasn't got that you have to put them at a certain level. We have to respect the human dignity of people, because all of us are human beings, and all of us like to be respected, and all of us like, to be known no matter how poor we are. So let's just, the councils, I'd admonish you, when you get the money and the people come forward, you get the list where necessary. When they sign it, let it remain there. Let it remain in the council. Because if you wouldn't like it for yourself, don't do it to somebody else. And let's operate. If we operate that way, life will be worth living. I just want to thank, before I pass on to, I'll come back again, I just want to thank my many constituents who meet me, because I am in my constituency every Thursday. The only time I won't be there is if we have cabinet or if we have some meeting, but religiously or bad weather. So, but let's just work together for the betterment of the community. That should be our focus, because when the community is better, we too are better. Let us not encourage any type of violence in our community, in our country. It's not going to help Dominica. When you destroy structures in Dominica, when you destroy things in Dominica, we have to rebuild. And that's money that could have gone somewhere else. And so we have to have a patriotic vein in us, to love our country and to love the people with whom we share the country with. And at this stage, before I hand over the check, I want to invite the Honorable Paul, Sister Paul, to say a few.
When you receive this type of support, the first way to bless it is to appreciate it. I strongly believe that when there's a lack of appreciation, or if you receive a certain sum and you are dissatisfied and you begin to curse it, it will not have the expected worth for you. So please, whatever you receive, the first thing you can do is to give thanks. And then I've been working, Lady Danielle has been working for you. She keeps us on our toes. And because of that, your community has, all of the communities in the Colihaut constituency has received significant support in terms of business and enterprise development. And we at the ministry, we've been following up with her, and a number of you would have participated in our training program. And that is to ensure that not only do we offer grant support, but we offer the necessary management skills to ensure that it works for you. So we do not want you to see this as money, but we want you to see this as investment. The government of Dominica is ensuring that we invest in our people, in the social and economic development of our people. And that is why you have the small business grant support. But as I said, we also provide technical guidance, technical advice. We monitor, we follow up with you. And I think just a few days ago, we had somebody on the ground. And just before I left, about after 4, he was talking to me and he told me, when you pass around Colihaut, all the shops are well stocked up. And that is the idea. When you help to boost existing businesses, then you are increasing the person's chance of returns and able to reinvest in the business and therefore sustain it. And we also support new business ideas. And contrary to some thinking or some negative talk, we have quite a few success stories around the country where people have been able to invest small sums and be able to create employment for themselves and even extend into creating employment for others. So the small business can work, and sometimes it works despite the small amount you are given. And so do not always think, well, I just received just $4,000 and begin to rant and rave, but probably see how well you can utilize and maximize this $4,000 as a first step. Many businesses have started through very humble beginnings. We think of people like Suki, who we were told use a little bicycle to pass and sell bread, but today Suki is a very big businessman. Honorable Douglas often talk of RBD and a donkey. He went to sell in the market, but he also sold the donkey and reinvested in business. So many people start from very humble beginnings, and we see that too at the Ministry of Commerce, where we give people just $3,000, $4,000, and they have stretched it and made wonders. And then when they set up themselves, they can come back for another boost for expansion. So, as I said, appreciate. Secondly, you need to manage the funds that you have been given. We see businesses come and businesses can cool very quickly. But that is not the idea. We all would want you to succeed. And so you have to manage a little resource. When you sell, if you sell $10, 10 is not for you to just pay yourself, but at least reinvest 5 in the business. Have a little savings for the business. Have a little plan that you implement bit by bit. Okay, so one do not, you may ask for 10,000, sometimes given 8,000 based on evaluation. We are aware that if you need to buy an engine, a piece of equipment, that you cannot buy a piece of an equipment. But if you ask for stock, sometimes you may ask for 6,000 and you get 4,000. 4,000 can help you. You buy the stock and then you sell and you restock. So all of these you need to consider as we work with you with small business. And we offer, as I say, technical advice. Please feel free if you have a question, if you need some guidance on a particular business initiative. You can walk into our office anytime, or you can talk to your PAL rep and our officers can follow up with you. So government also have other opportunities for you. Those of you who probably wish to expand, you can take advantage of the 3%, the small loan facilities at the Aid Bank, which is at 3% interest rate, and you have as much for agriculture as 6 months grace period. We have in terms of tourism and hotel development, and thirdly we have for music, and soon from now we will have for manufacturing and agro-processing. I know in Colihaut you have people doing virgin coconut oil, and there's high demand for virgin coconut oil. There may be need to boost the business, improve your quality. All of these we are seeking to work with you for that, because we know it's good euro that it fetches. So we want to continue to support you in this regard. So let's continue to work together. Let's continue we want you, in fact, to help us, to help you, to help your communities and families. And we can only do that if we are serious. The money given is not to go and color the hair, or to go and put braids, and to go. First of all, it's an infant business. You have to invest in the business. You also have to invest time in the business. Because if you're starting a business and you figure out you just open the business for 1 hour, 2 hours, you don't expect it to. So please be serious. Please invest your time, your money, your effort in the business, and pay yourself instead a small something from the business, rather than just continue to take and never record what you take. So all of those things you need to consider And if we do these things well, if we are serious, then we'll be investing in sustainable livelihoods for you. You'll be investing and expanding hopefully in the near future, and it will create employment for others. So this is what we envision for you. This is what we envision for small business development in Dominica. And small business, we know, enterprise, we know, employ over 60% of our populace. And that is why the demands are so high for small business support, because many of you have to create employment for yourselves, and there are opportunities for providing goods and services to the country, and increasingly to the hotels and other development that's coming up. We have the abattoir as well, which ensures there's demand for you getting into poultry and livestock. And Honorable Douglas would have told you we have increasing market in terms of agriculture. So the opportunities are there, and government is providing the resources. So if the opportunities are there, the resources are there, then it's left to you to take full advantage of the available opportunities. So I wish you well, I wish you success, and on behalf of the PARREP already in advance, I thank you for investing in yourself and in enterprise in Dominica.